We call this meeting to order, workshop, August 18, 2004, 3:30, roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Dominic,
Present.
Johnson, Williams, Lynn,
Here.
Bowman,
Present.
Baker, Lynch, Escaday,
Here.
Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
We'll have the invocation by Commissioner Bowman and the pledge by Commissioner Matthew Lynn. Y'all all
Ain't that
stand.
up, man?
Hey, please issue a special prayer for Commissioner Lynn.
Heavenly Father, we come now with bowed heads and humble hearts, dear Master. Thank you for this day, God, I ask it, and thank you in advance for guiding each of us and allow everything to be productive and progressive for the parish and everyone we represent in your sight. These are the blessings we ask, thank you in your Son, Jesus' name, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Everyone, please face the flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance along with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Are there any agenda additions?
Okay, we don't have any agenda additions. Move to the next item.
Next, we move to citizen comments.
Any citizens who wish to address the Caddo Parish Commission are required to fill out a comment card and forward it to myself or the clerk of the commission. I do have several comment cards. If anybody else wishes to fill one out, they are located in the foyer. I will remind everybody this is not a ask and answer session, but simply a comment time, and everyone is limited to 3 minutes, so we need to put the timer down. I'm going in order that's been given to me. First one I have is Lavette Fuller. Ms. Fuller? How you doing?
Doing well, how are you?
Just fine. Can you give us your name and address, please?
Lavette Fuller, 615 Rutherford Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71104. I am with you today to resubmit my name for consideration for the Metropolitan Planning Commission Board. I hope that you have received an email from me as well as my resume and a letter of interest in the said open position. I've done this before back in November. I hope you remember that I have pledged my professional life to community service as a librarian with Shreve Memorial Library. I work very strongly with kids, teenagers in this community, and I also serve the community through public service as a volunteer for the Junior League and several other civic organizations. And I just want to say thank you for your time and consideration, and I hope that you will think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fuller. Our next one is Curtis Joseph. Mr. Joseph, present. Come on up, Mr. Joseph. How you doing? If you can start off by giving us your name and address, you have 3 minutes.
It won't take that long. Curtis Joseph, 545 Atkins Avenue, Shreveport, 71104. I provided my firm resume as well as a letter of interest to Mr. Hopkins. I've spoken to a few individuals on the Metropolitan Planning Commission, and I've spoken with Mr. Lynn as regards to potential for my firm providing legal representation to the MPC when and if the commission finds itself in the position of retaining counsel.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Eric Hatfield? Is Eric present?
There he is.
Oh, you're hiding up back there. I didn't see you. How you doing, man?
That was intentional.
He don't like to know people where you at.
You don't want us to know who you are, where you at, or anything.
That's right, or what I'm doing.
Slip it up.
That's
Give us your name and address, please. You got 3 minutes.
Constable Eric Hatfield, 10040 Loveland Court, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. I'm Constable Eric Hatfield, Caddo Parish, Ward 8, and I'm here just in reference to the comments, the media attention, I guess, that we got last night about the property standards. And I just want to say that as far as me as a constable in Ward 8, I do appreciate the opportunity to be a constable. I appreciate the commission and what they do to back us and support us. And I take the property standards issues very seriously, just like I do anything else that comes with the constable's job. And in the event that anything else arises or anyone else on the commission needs anything, or as far as the property standards, that some of us are happy to do it. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Eric. We did have a committee meeting on that. We'll try to be in touch with you as this moves forward. Okay. And Jake McGreen or McGreer.
I think he ran out.
Is that McGrew?
McGrew.
Okay, is he here? Laura Ham, is Miss Ham present? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
Nice to see you today. Can you give us your name and address? Remember, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, Laura Brucha Ham, 864 Olive Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71104.
Go ahead.
So this is my first time here, so bear with me, thank you. I'm here to represent the Center for Families, a mental health organization that has been in our community for 125 years. We celebrated that this May. And along the way, we've done a lot, but since the 1960s, we've been doing a lot of the mental health counseling and starting very severely focusing on child abuse, that was very big in the 60s. So since the 80s, we have expanded the types of services that we provide and we promote in having mental health taken care of in our community. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 50% of every American will suffer from a form of mental illness every year. That affects not only themselves, but their household and everyone else that they're involved with. Even their employment status, of course, as we know. The stigma is not what keeps people involved with mental health or getting the help that they need. It's the affordability. And so I'm here to represent the Center for Families so that the parish of Caddo can start paying more attention to the need that mental health affects us every minute of every day. From the dreams that might haunt me to make me happy when I wake up, to how I interact with my children this morning, to how the road rage is on the streets, to the people I encounter at my work, to the way that we feel right here at this very moment, whether I'm suffering from an injury that I have incurred or I am dealing with the stress of creating a beautiful program for the community. So I'm here again to represent mental health, that again it affects every single one of us, that it is indeed challenged on a consistent basis from whether you're a child or you are an adult. The Center for Families provides quality and professional mental health to the entire community. And again, the question is how to make it affordable to the community so that they know not only is it accessible, but now I can actually reach out and touch that. Because as most of us might know or think, when you call to make an appointment, it's very expensive in most places. So that's why we're dedicated to the community, and that's why I'm here today to just ask to pay better attention to mental health as we promote it and educate the community to make it available to all. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Ham, thank you very much. We've obviously seen a lot about the mental health in the papers lately, and wish you the best of luck. If you need anything from us, let us know.
Yeah, we work with Ms. Swag Nation works with her. She does a good job.
Ms. Jones, Brenda Jones. How you doing, Ms. Jones? If you give us your name and address.
My name is Brenda Jones, 9278 Stratmore, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71129.
You can go ahead. How you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm Brenda Jones. I'm owner of Jones Rolling Ridge Water Company, Caddo Parish. A few years ago, this started, well, in fact, a couple of years ago, we had the state of the parish was taking water samples of our drinking water. And until a couple of months ago, which was last month, now we have to take the water samples in ourselves. Transportation, we have to do that ourselves, take them to the lab, and then they analyze them. We've been getting, at least my company has been getting, inconsistent water samples. The results are, they'll come back positive. They don't send us a letter or anything, they just, give us a call. So my question is, and what I like to know and what I would like to hope to have done is to find out why there are inconsistencies in the water samples now and what can be done to improve it or make it better for us. Thank you.
Ms. Jones, I got a couple questions. Whose commission district are you in?
Commissioner Epperson.
Is she talking to anyone with Public Works or anything?
I'm going to bring that up.
Okay.
I'll bring that up.
Okay. So you're going to be working with Commissioner Epperson to try to get something resolved on your issue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. I would just ask you to continue to work with Commissioner Epperson, and we'll see what we can do, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
I thought that's who you were talking to earlier. And of course, I saved the best for last, Mr. Daniel Keel.
Hard bill to fill.
You
Nonetheless.
can handle this.
Yeah, you may need to bring your briefcase.
There you go.
All right.
Well, I've only got 3 minutes here. We can talk about ahead of a pin for
Give
about 30
us your
seconds.
name and address first.
I'm Daniel Keel, 1036 Texas Avenue, Shreveport, 71101.
Okay.
I wanted to come following the fracas that was last weekend and the interviews that Dr. Wilson gave and say that I, as a citizen, have had some very positive experiences with the shelter. I had a dog lost. I've actually had two. One of them we recovered before it got to the shelter. But I've had quite a bit of interface with the staff and have been very pleased with what I've dealt with out there. I sent an email to y'all, some of you, most of you, I hope. I do have some concerns about the friction and the interface that we have between the director and between the public. And I don't know what the solution is. I'm not here to give it to you or to give it to Dr. Wilson, but I do think we need to explore ways of not just reenacting or revising the ordinances that I've been privy to watching that process take place, not a part of it per se, but watching it, but that we do need to look in ways to include the use of volunteers, to shorten the time that dogs are out there. If dogs that are located and run free from Cedar Grove and are out on the street for a week and a half and end up at the shelter, I think we need to explore open-mindedly ways of getting those animals out in front of the public, hopefully not only to return pets to the owners or to find new homes for other pets, but also to find ways to streamline some of the processes and procedures. I don't know, the next meeting I thought was going to be today, but it was canceled, so now we're 2 months out to the next meeting. And I do have some concerns that we find the best people to do the best thing, and I think there's been some shuffling that's taken place within the animal services that I would say is a positive one. The kennel director is just excellent in its interface with the public. As you know, y'all are used to it, I tick somebody off at least once a week, either at an animal shelter someplace in the state or an animal advocate or activist. I get called all the time, so I'm getting the benefit of a little bit of what y'all have. You can't win for losing sometimes. But I do think as long as we have a public perception that what we're doing is positive, that is open-minded, that is not just, as you said, as I understood, ordinances drive policy. I think we need to put public input and public opinion and constituent concerns in that process somewhere and get where we are actually a bit more responsive. We have the opportunity in this parish to be a stellar example, and that other parishes I know for a fact are looking toward us to be able to do the best that we can. A lot of progress is being made. I just think people want to see the pudding, not just hear that we got some stuff baking. So that's basically my 2 cents, and I appreciate y'all for listening.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you coming. Hopefully you can continue to work with us and try to make everything better as far as animal control goes. So thank you. Mr. Hopkins, our next item is?
Next we move to visitors. Mr. Warren Skidder, Executive Director, Caddo Community Action Agency, present update to CCA's 2013 audit. Commissioners, if you also would like, you can click on the blue portion under document, and the audit will pull up for you.
How you doing, Mr. Guidry?
Thank you, Lawrence Guidry, 4055 St. Vincent Avenue. My office address, home address is 620 East 85th Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. I just want to say to you all that the audit was sent to you electronically this year, and of course we appreciate the auditor being able to facilitate that part as we try to go paperless. But first of all, let me say about with me, my Head Start Director, Mr. Greg Bradley, Finance Director, Mrs. Collins, and of course Mrs. Rhonda Bates, who is our Accounting Supervisor, who really are just invaluable to our agency. We want to thank the Commission for allowing us once again to represent you as the grantee for the Head Start program. And of course, and if you look at the audit booklet, and of course the whole thing is out for public dissemination, but you'll find on page 23 there was no statement audit findings, no findings of any major federal awards program, and in the last page there was no findings for the current year, and we're proud of that. And thank you all for allowing us to do it. One final thing, of course, we want to say is that we did receive today our solicitation letter today that says that we are to apply for the grant for next year, which will begin February 1. It has to be into the regional office by November 1st. And we would like your blessings to apply for a total of $11,176,866 in Head Start Fund. That will represent 1,648 kids. As I say, in each one of your districts, save Commissioner Epperson, there is at least one Head Start center. I always encourage you to go back. The kids will come back on September the 2nd. The staff comes next week on Monday the 25th. The kids will come September 2nd, day after Labor Day, and they'll be there for 167 days. And 600 or so of our kids each year progress out into the public and go to public schools. And I challenge the school board and school officials all the time to line up 100 of your best coming from wherever they're coming from and line up 100 of our best, and we'll just see and compare apples to apples. Our kids are learning in Head Start, and that's attributed to your allowing us to do it, and we want to do a good job. And the only way we know we're doing a good job is A, finding out how they're progressing when they get to school, and B, if the public finds something that's going amiss in one of our centers, we want to correct it. And that's why I encourage you and urge you to go by unannounced and then let me know what you find. Thank you very much for allowing us this opportunity.
Mr. Guidry, you're here as a speaker, so we do have visitors, so we do have a couple commissioners that want to ask you some questions. And always, I would just simply say thank you for coming here. You do such an excellent job. First to speak is ask you some questions or wants to address you is Commissioner Epperson.
Okay. Mr. Guidry, on that grant for next year, you need a resolution from this body or what?
Well,
You need anything?
Yes, that's a good question.
Well, I need a resolution from the body, yes, sir. And also, of course, I need next year, come January 1, to do another resolution authorizing the agency to continue to operate the agency.
Would you get with, I guess, Mr. Dominique
yeah,
and see what we need for now?
Donna, will you get with him, make sure you get those resolutions drawn up so we can get them on the agenda, please?
Okay.
Commissioner, you through, Commissioner Epperson?
Yes, I'm finished.
Is that Commissioner Bowman?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, President. Commissioner Epperson already asked what I was going to ask, but I do, since I have you all here, I just want to thank you all for what you do. And it's very rare and complimentary to be able to have a great audit like this, and you all are exceptional. I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Williams?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too want to echo the sentiments that's been said regarding an audit. Anytime you can come out with any thing that's not showing a negative or any black eye on the agency is very positive. And that's due to the tremendous staff and management that you have, the competency of the people that are working for you. And I want to commend you also just for standing in the gap for those that are poor and less fortunate, and some will had a hardship in their life, would have to depend on the CCAA to get them back on their feet. So that is an agency that fills in the gap, and you guys have been filling in the gap for years. I am a product of Head Start. Even worked there buffing floors. So it's a great opportunity to jumpstart with Head Start. And we need to continue to fund that on the national and local and state level, because our kids have to have a great jump start to be jumping into school. And I think that's the best opportunity for them, especially for those that are poor and can't afford to go to the private school. So, hey, keep up the good work, and look forward to many more years down the road of helping our children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Guidry. Once
Thank
again,
you.
I appreciate all your work. Just get with our lawyer to get that done, Mr. Guidry, okay?
I will do that.
Okay, next item, Mr. Clerk.
We move to reports, administration reports.
President Dominic,
Yes, sir.
good afternoon. Just a couple of things. We posted to the station today a letter from Sheriff Prater on an update on Homeland Security since he took over. And I did talk to the attorney last week and asked him when we'll have our first executive board meeting, and he told me he'll let me know forthcoming, probably in a couple of weeks. But the 3-page letter you have details what he's been doing since he's taken over the program. The second thing, I think I had a request for the levy board to appear before you today. We did reach out to them and invited Ms. Carolyn Prater to come, as well as Mr. Ali Estafa. And they said they were busy and they couldn't get here until the September the 2nd. They had prior commitments, but they are scheduled to be here at the work session, the first one in September.
They're scheduled to come when?
Pardon me, sir?
They're scheduled to come when?
The 2nd of September,
Okay.
about our first work session, come and talk to us, so.
Okay.
Did make that request, so that concludes my report for the day, sir.
Dr. Wilson, let me ask you a question on this Homeland Security thing. There were some grant letters that we got. Did we
Yes,
make
sir.
sure that those were passed along
Yes,
to
sir.
the sheriff? He has those in his hand?
The one that you and I talked about last time was a flood mitigation program.
There was another one that had like a deadline or something like that?
Yes, so all the deadlines were met, but one of those programs that Mr. Demajer worked at flood mitigation, because they had to do with parish buyouts.
Okay.
So we took care of that, and we met all the
But
required
the other one, there
timelines.
was two letters. I got another one it was about a grant or something. Y'all got it too?
Yes, sir, we got to the sheriff, and they've already, actually, for y'all's information, the sheriff hired 3 people. And he hired, those folks came from the old Homeland Security function, so they are very knowledgeable, and they start from day one, hitting the ground running.
Sandy Davis included in it?
No, so Sandy Davis now works for the state of Louisiana Homeland Security Division. But everybody has found gainful employment.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for you.
Okay, is that all you have, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got a couple commissioners. Commissioner Cox?
While we were at NACO, there was a booth set up for Homeland Security. I got a bunch of information for grants and for them to come in and do a sit-down with the sheriff and his people now.
Okay.
They do it free of charge. I'll pass that information on to you.
Sure.
And they also have a way to apply for grants or to get the federal government to actually give us something that we actually need.
Okay.
For free. So I'll get that paperwork for you.
Yes, sir.
If you can give it to the sheriff, and maybe they'll come in and do their class and start something.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Epperson?
Dr. Wilson, in reference to Mrs. Jones' concerns as well as, most of that area out there is that's not on the private water system, it's on the Greenwood water system.
Yes, sir.
And we've had quite a few boil bans in with of course, situation with lines with Greenwood water. However, I think Greenwood water used the same facilities, DHS over at on
Yep.
Crestwell.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Test that water sample too.
That's correct.
And there's been some time that we had to go through a weekend because, it didn't test right and they come back. So we've been getting a lot of concerns relative to that with the Greenwood system too. And of course, I work with Mayor Stavich and Veronica Brown over there
Right.
relative to that situation on the Greenwood system. But we all know that the DHS cut money and staffing, I believe, over there.
Yes, sir.
And is that the same area that does inspections on our restaurants and
Yes,
stuff
sir,
too?
it is.
So see, this sort of, to me, sends up an alarm. Have we cut staff too much to whereas we aren't being as effective in our duties and responsibilities? What's the quality of personnel that they have retained in that lab since they had to do some layoffs? So I would like, if possible, for you to invite whomever that's in charge of that laboratory to appear before us on September the 2nd and sort of, let us know what's going on there, and if there are any issues with staffing or funding or whatever it is, because Mr. Jones told me, he said some samples was rejected, then he went and he pulled 5 samples out of the same tap, one behind each other. 2 tested positive and 3 was good. So you see what I mean there? So we need to maintain some kind of integrity. However, I don't think, I asked him, I said, well, did they say cut the water off to the residents, put a boil ban? He said, no, I said bring some more over. So
Yes, sir.
I think we got to ratchet that up a little better and get a lot better answers. So if you could get someone to appear before us on the
Yes, sir.
2nd of September relative to that. Also, where's Miss Erica Bryan? Bryan, you disappointed me again, lady. I heard that Bentley Steel had a job fair at Bipsy. And probably 30 minutes after I found out on the television, I was on the phone with a constituent that was asking about it. So I know what he called me once he saw that on there too. Now, you remember we had, what her name is, Simmons?
Yes.
And
Came down.
And everybody coming, they were gonna let us know. We even tried to offer some suggestions. We didn't hear nothing.
That's right.
No, they said they were
We
going to do it.
We didn't hear anything. And people asking us every day about jobs.
Right.
Well, Commissioner, I heard you say y'all spending $3 million to cut them a road, and you're doing this, that, and the other. And hell, they not even letting us know when they hiring. And we brought this up before. We as commissioners should not find pertinent things like that from the media or outside people when we have staff in place supposedly to make sure that we have that information. You know, we spending taxpayers' money, we giving up things to get these companies here. These people don't want to hear us, man, I don't know, go to the website. They're not doing nothing yet, but we're going to let you know as soon. And 30 minutes later, turned on the news and they had a big job for everywhere Bips. They had people lined up everywhere. Okay, that's that.
Can I make a comment, sir?
Let's talk afterwards.
Okay.
The Metropolitan Planning Commission, you know, we had a situation, Ms. Frazier, with I think they had put in a request to the Attorney General to give an opinion whether we could participate in the hiring of the Executive Director.
Yes, sir.
And you remember the letter we got back?
Yes, sir.
I think basically, correct me if I'm wrong, we stated that since we're the ones that I think appoint the board or whatever it is, that those letters, that request should have come from us.
That's correct.
Okay. I want everybody to be quite clear. Now, when I came back on the commission in 2008, remember we had, you may not remember, but in orientation, I stated that one of my things that I want to do as a commissioner, wanted to make sure that all boards that we appointed, that we would bring those persons in and we would give them an orientation session, let them know what's expected of them. I think we should give parliamentary procedure trainings to them. We should get the policies and procedures that that particular board that they're going to serve on, that's in place, and make sure that they understand. You know, give them a seminar so they'll go in, you know what I mean, not just, I want to be a public servant and, you know, don't have an earthly idea what goes on there. I think that's our responsibility, but I dropped the ball on that. You know, the Haynesville shell came in and that just took the air out of my sail on that. That's what we focused on. But I'm here to say today, I think we still should institute that, even of the board members that's currently on the board. We need to have a training session with them, make sure that they understand the policies and procedures on the boards that they are serving. Let's do some parliamentary procedure. Let's have our legal department go in and tell them about public records requests. Tell them about meetings. When do you go into executive session? Public meetings, things of that nature. And we shouldn't have people outside that's always nipping and tucking and criticizing us. And sometimes rightfully so, because guess what? We have not properly trained the persons that we've selected to go on these boards and commissions. So we're going to be open for failure. You're going to be open for criticism. So I would still like to see that done. And to the Metropolitan Planning Commission and all that staff, this isn't anything as being vindictive. This is what we need to do, because we have such a large task before us on growing this city and this parish. And we want to make sure that when we go forward from this point on, that we are stepping out in the right direction and minimize reasons for excuses and mistakes, and we can continue to press forward and compete with all these other people. So I would like to see that. I would like to see us meet with the MPC board and the staff, and let's sit down and talk about what we can do. I'd like to see us meet with the library board. We appoint so many to the city, but let's sit down and let's dialogue, let's talk. We should not be adversaries. We all have one objective that we should be going toward, and that's what's in the best interest of the city of Shreveport and the parish of Caddo. And the only way that we can get it done is put aside all these hatchets and these arrows and all this kind of stuff, and let's sit down and have intelligent dialogue. Thank you.
Finished? Okay, Commissioner Vice President Johnson.
We don't communicate, or we don't report.
You done got lost after
I was wondering that also.
Okay,
Since we kind of bounced around, one of my questions that I did have, Woody, you did answer about the grants. I think we all need to be involved in, what kind of grants that the Homeland Security Office is applying for.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be abreast of what's going on. Because what I hate to see too, is just like Mr. Jefferson said, is that the media says that they applied for this grant and got it, and we find out about it afterwards. Okay? I do know too that they will have a meeting Wednesday. It'll be the first meeting after the split of the Caddo Homeland Security Office. They're having a meeting Wednesday. I got called and invited to that because of my other job. We have another question for Ms. Frazier. On the water and sewage boards, I would also like what Commissioner Epperson said, for all of those members that's on those boards to also be included in that training. Because looking at some of the boards, we do have some issues, some gaps, and I want to kind of close those gaps up as soon as possible. And if we can have a couple sessions, sit down with the board members to get them on track of what they're supposed to be doing, as opposed to what they are doing, then I think that would help out. Another question I had asked Henry about was on these water and sewage boards, can we replace a board member without having or specifying all kind of causes? Is that possible? I want to make sure I'm legal.
Oh, I ain't legal enough.
So you gonna get back with me on that?
You're illegal enough.
Okay.
Whatever you need to be.
Yeah, I just want to make sure before I start some individuals that I see is causing problems.
I'm hurt.
Thank you.
Commissioner Williams, it's about, we done gone half the meeting, you ain't got to speak yet, it's about time.
All right, order a pizza.
Let us pray.
There you go.
Well, my comments are regarding, Mr. Administrator, in the restaurant industry, and who, the Department of Health or the Health Unit, do they inspect them?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Who's responsible for inspecting the food? Health Unit too?
Yes, I believe so.
Now, who rates them? Do they get a score or anything? about what they
Yes, same
do?
office.
Now, is it placard anywhere?
It's on the internet.
Is it placard on the door?
No, they have to keep.
Hang on.
Oh,
I'll let Commissioner Lynn, since he's in the
I don't
restaurant
mind.
business.
He's been in
Go ahead,
Okay.
Commissioner.
You are supposed to keep it on file along with all your registrations and your license. However, you can go on the Department of Health website and look at any restaurant in the community and punch in their name, and it'll show the last 30 inspections that they did, and it scores them.
Now, is the score, can it be placarded publicly? Is it against the law to do that, or you have to, is the state statute find out, because we need to placard these that got this bad food out here. Other people done called me and got food poison. I done got food poison. We didn't know what the scores are. If they kept in a secret file, I don't want to eat somewhere I don't know if they got a good score or not. I don't know what a bad score or a good score is. In some states, they placard on the outside. Look and see, can we hold them accountable and put their scores on the outside?
Yes, sir.
Placard.
Yeah. We're going to invite you to appear before you, sir, at next work session, hopefully. But we'll find that out in the interim. Hey, let me make one statement, sir.
Go ahead.
Relative to this subject. We kind of talked about this back in September of last year. The health unit used to occupy 4 floors. They had that many people. Now they're down to 2 floors. You can't even get your birth certificate now other than going to Vital Records in Baton Rouge. They did a lot of cutting. And we have gotten requests for some help, manpower-wise, to maybe shore up some help at the DHS department that does inspections. And at that time, they were trying to add a position. We chose not to do that. I went back and revisited that again. And there's one person doing all the inspecting for the entire parish. And she's answering the phones and doing everything, one person. Okay? So what we did was we talked to her again and said, listen, what you're doing does impact the entire parish. Why don't we help you within your budget, because their budget come out of the health fund tax. We provided some temporary help for her to allow her to get caught up. So we are paying a temporary agency to provide some help to answer the phones to allow the lady who's responsible for doing the inspections to go out and do the inspections. But she's down to one office. Used to be 3 people at one time over there. They inspect all the sewer system, they inspect the restaurants, all of that with one person for 900 square miles of parish and all the businesses we have here.
Now we're having to pay for it.
Well, sir, yes.
Unfunded mandate.
Yes, I mean, yes, we're helping out. It's coming out of the health fund tax. We split the funds that come from the health fund, but it's the same person that we are complaining about not being timely and going out and doing all these things because it's not impacting businesses as well as residents who need to have their wells inspected. Same person. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. We'll invite them to come and they can speak for themselves when they get here. Just want you to be aware of that, what we're up against.
My main goal is to find out, when I go inside, I want to make sure they have a good score so I can eat their food. And if it's in a file, I don't know. But hopefully in other states, they placard those restaurant scores so we'll know exactly if we want to serve them or go in there or not. So, I want to be able to see if their state statute saying that they have to have it in a file closed to the public, or can it be posted public? And if it is, we need to do something in our policy or our ordinance or whatever to ensure that when I go, so I want to make sure I'm eating good quality food. Thank you.
Dr. Wilson, can y'all make sure to find out about that statute because we want Mr. Williams to be able to eat some good quality food.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. We'll look at the law regarding this, sir, and have it available for you all.
Get that down, Donna. She ain't looked up yet. Okay.
You would say.
Commissioner Cox.
Okay.
We still on administrative report, right? Because I have
Are you still talking? You still got the floor? You still
might have communicate one more.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you all got the email from Michelle. Got email from our newly elected regional representative for Senator David Vitter office in Baton Rouge. His name is Marcus Johnson. He would like to introduce himself to an elected official in Northwest Louisiana. He would be here meet and greet on Tuesday, August 19th at 2 o'clock p.m. at the Government Chamber here. So
that's tomorrow.
I hope that you guys will come out and meet Marcus Johnson. He want to introduce himself, want to find out the needs of this Northwest Louisiana for residents in this area. So I would be there. I hope that we would welcome here and see what he has to offer to help people in Northwest Louisiana. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Cox.
Just a crossover to Mr. Epperson. Are you going to talk about our property standards today under communications?
Yeah, under communications.
Okay.
So this administrative, right?
Right, that's what I thought. Okay. But since we kind of like crossed over.
We crossed over 3-4 times.
That's uncrossed.
I really didn't want to say anything until you did your communique. So
I'll do it
will
under
yield
communication.
my time right now until we get to communications.
I think the administrative report's already been given, so I hereby declare that we are under the communique.
Well, I have a question for Woody under administration.
You gotta put yourself back on the board.
No, I'm not there.
Yeah, but you gotta wait your turn.
Commissioner Smith.
Natural Resource Committee will have a meeting Thursday at 2 o'clock. Ken Ward's going to give us an update on our water conditions. So invite everybody to come and hear about good things maybe and what our water tables are right now.
Water's the new goal.
You're right.
It really is.
It's going to be after 12 years. 2 o'clock Thursday. Thank you.
Commissioner Lynn.
I have a question for administration.
Yes, sir.
To back on that. I received a flyer in my box that showed in multiple colors the amount of pets that were brought into the animal shelter on Saturdays. And when it was very well prepared, and I appreciate it. When I asked for that a few weeks ago, I asked that if you could also include the rest of the days of the week.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be in color. It can all just be black and white, single space. It doesn't
Monday through
need
Friday.
any pictures.
Monday through Friday?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you.
Can't call you Sherlock.
Per day.
Yeah.
I'm only in charge of myself. And that's all I have under administration.
That's enough, huh? Okay, Commissioner Epperson.
On the communiques, we had a good spirited property standards and code enforcement meeting today. We came up with, we directed staff to, if they would engage in trying to come up with some sort of proposal to possibly do some inspection and code enforcement through the employees and bring it back to the committee. I think also we passed a motion to have Attorney Frazier do a resolution relative to some issues concerning the constables and justice of the peace redistricting, and she'll come up with the final details, and I think we'll be introducing that, Mr. Chairman, on probably September the 2nd's meeting. Am I correct? We didn't want to try to expand the agenda nothing. They want to make sure that we had that resolution clearly defined.
Yes.
So that's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner Thibodeau?
Yeah, I want to be sure that, and I wasn't sure of the way it'd be done, but I want to be sure that Ms. Fuller, Lewis, her name, was put on for Thursday to be as a candidate for the NPC spot. And I'm not sure about Mr. Joseph, I'm not sure what he was really asking for. I don't know if he was asking to be considered for a spot on the NPC, or if it was...
Said legal representation would have said on the card.
Okay. All right, well, anyhow, Ms. Fuller, just want to be sure she was put on there since she requested to be a candidate.
I guess we can address that when we come down to it in a minute, okay?
Yes.
All right, does anybody else have any communications or committee reports? Seeing none, I do have one thing I just wanted to address that each of you did, and I'm just trying to get it out to the public, that I thought it was a little bit unusual. That the sheriff does provide us each and every month the issues with regards to security at the Francis Bickham building and the courthouses, and the knives, the medium knives, the small knives, the pepper spray, and other weapons that he confiscates. I think it's very interesting that they do that. If you look at the bottom, it was also kind of interesting that they prevented 5 handcuff keys from coming into the courthouse, and also apparently one lady was wearing someone was wearing a t-shirt with a nude person and some other issues on it, and they made them go out and change. So anyway, I just want to thank the sheriff for all the hard work he's done. I thought that was kind of unusual that they did get that. All right. Next item.
That was your president's report.
That was it. Now, the other thing is that Commissioner Williams and I did attend Bishop Larry Brandon's back to school night. I think that was this past Wednesday, wasn't it, Commissioner Williams? I appreciate you going there with me. And it was a good turnout. This is the 13th year that they've done that, and they do provide backpacks to the needy of the children going back to school. And actually, his, how many? 3,000. And actually, they said that the day of school, he, along with other members of his congregation, went out and provided, I think it was breakfast to the...
5 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning at the bus stations to the kids. So, thank all the hard work they're doing. So, that's my president's report.
Okay. There is no old business. We move to new business. Authorized resolution number 43 of 2014, adopting the municipalities continuing disclosure cooperative initiatives of the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Please vote. Did someone not vote? I can't see.
No. Stephanie's not here.
Okay, 10-0, that goes.
Authorize the appointment of Ms. Josie B. Harris to the Metropolitan Planning Commission to replace Mr. Larry Ferdinand, who has resigned.
Move Thursday.
Move to add Lavette Fuller to that list.
Wait a minute, do you?
Second.
Hang on, I got a motion by Commissioner Epperson and seconded by Commissioner Williams
For Thursday.
to move Josie B. Harris to Thursday.
Right.
Do you want to?
I move to add Lavette Fuller to that list.
Yeah, I have a motion by Commissioner Lynn, and do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cox to add Yvette Fuller to the list for Thursday. Mr. Epperson, you want?
Yes, sir. Just want everybody to know that I had submitted Ms. Harris's name well in advance. I gave a hard copy in each of your box. I sent you emails, and for some reason, some of you don't respond back to me when I send a request out early. And I would ask that you just give me that professional courtesy to say, yes, I will, or no, I won't, because I would do that for you. So it's not like Ms. Harris just came up today. This was put out well in before August. It was put out in July. Hard copy in your box and email. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Lynn?
Earlier this year, when we appointed Mr. Ramirez, Lavette Fuller appeared before us and presented her resume and her letter of request. And at that point in time, she said, should we ever have an opening in the MPC, she would greatly appreciate further consideration at a later date. And I remember several of us saying that, yes, the next time an appointment comes open, we will gladly consider you for this. And so this is something that goes back all the way to when we appointed the two Ronnies, Ronnie Bergeron to the ZBA and Ronnie Ramirez to the MPC. And those were the three people that had applied to do public service free of charge for the MPC. And she's been looking at that spot for months and months. And so anyway, we did say to please come back the next time it was brought up, and that she has done. So I would greatly appreciate y'all taking into consideration that she's been out there for quite a while looking for this position. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox?
I've talked to Ms. Harris over the phone twice, and we never have been able to get together because of my back or whatever. But in a position like this, anybody who would like to nominate themselves or come from the board to nominate, I think that's showing more of the community willing to get involved. And that gives us more of a pick between 2, 3, 4, whoever shows up. So even though I have talked to Ms. Harris and Ms. Fuller from last time, I would like to ask all candidates who want to be on the MPC to show up on our next session, so that we can ask them some questions and stuff. So, but anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. We have the motion and second to, I guess, move both of these people forward. Please vote. Okay, that passes 10-0, so we'll have Ms. Harris and Yvette Fuller will be the two individuals at this time that we'll be considering replacing Mr. Ferdinand. Okay, next item, Mr. Clark.
Authorizing Mr. Christian Powers, Robinson Rescue, as a visitor for the regular session.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, seconded by the chair. Please vote.
Robinson Rescue.
Yeah, what they want.
What is Robinson Rescue? Never heard of that.
That's what Ms. Baker.
Ms. Baker has to be put in.
Yeah, that's the dog.
No, that's Robinson's Rescue. I'm looking at this. This says Robinson. What's Robinson Rescue?
That was a typo.
Okay.
Got stranded on the
You're
island.
human, man, you're human.
Come on, lighten up a little bit.
Hey, that's your first. Strike one.
There'll be many more.
He's gonna blame it on Michelle.
Gonna hurt your evaluation.
Okay, next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have consent agenda.
Okay. See no one else on the board? We are adjourned.
Mute the mic. I got something for you. We still have time.
Mark, can you turn it down?
I read them all the time. I'm amazed that they sneak guns in. I'm like, are you crazy?
John, I was in there.